What is going on this time for another NBA Daily Show here at the X Factor Sports Talk? For all your daily NBA content, look no further. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know down below what you think of this video. And let's dive right into yesterday, January 11th action. The first game, the Pistons defended home court and upset the Minnesota Timberwolves at 135 to 118. The Pistons on their end, Sadiq Bey had 31. Been in a lot of trade rumors. Potentially might be available. If you haven't already, check out the Eastern Conference buy sell video. We dive into Sadiq Bey and Bogdanovich, who had 27 and 6. Killian Hayes had 18 and 9. Jaden Ivey had 18 and 8. Hamidou Diallo, another name we get into in that video, had 18 and 5. And then, of course, Alec Burks, another name we get into in that video, had 13 and 5 off the bench. A really good, solid game from the Pistons, dominating the Minnesota Timberwolves, who, looking at their box score, didn't have much going on, and they fall on the road. The second game, Kyle Kuzma comes through clutch for the Washington Wizards, hits a fadeaway three with about 10 seconds to go to put them up by 3 on their way to beat the Bulls 100 to 97. Kyle Kuzma, who I just alluded to, had 21. Denny Abdia had 9 points and 20 rebounds. Anthony Gill, shouts out to him off the bench. He had 18. But for the Bulls, they continue just to fall, have good moments, then have their bad, their high, then their low. Nikola Vucevic had 15. Zach LaVine had 38. No DeRozan for them. But really, their bench had no production. Andre Drummond played terrible. They only scored 97 points. So not going to win many games in this era of basketball, scoring 97 points. The game of the night, in my opinion, I had a lot of fun watching this game, is the Atlanta Hawks and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks came out on top 114 to 105. They were dominating the first half. The Atlanta Hawks surged all the way back in the third quarter, late into the fourth quarter, and then Milwaukee just runs away with it, ends up winning by 9. I was getting close. Me and the fellas, we have a group chat, and I was getting really close to sending out, this is the defining win for the Hawks season. They were down as much as 24. They battle. They all the adversity they're facing. No Trae Young last night. To be able to go all the way back, they were up by 4, 5, 6 points. I was like, holy cow, if they hold on to this would be the defining win for their season and maybe even help them turn a corner. But then they lose that lead. The Milwaukee Bucks pounce and end up winning, even though Giannis didn't even play that well. 7 points, 18 rebounds, 10 assists. But Drew Holiday with 27 and 5, Brooke Lopez with 20 and 12. Um, Bobby Portis off the bench with a double-double. Incredible game all around for the Milwaukee Bucks. Just kind of showing how lethal they can be in so many different ways. For the Hawks, Bogey off the bench played pretty well with 22. Frank Kaminsky came in, provided solid minutes, but nobody else really stands out there. The Boston Celtics defeated the New Orleans Pelicans 125 to 114. Jayson Tatum with 31 and 10. Jaylen Brown with 41 and 12. Best duo in basketball, the best team in basketball. Continue just to run through the regular season. Obviously, they're going to have down spots, and they had one a couple weeks ago where they went on a little lull, lost to the Magic, almost lost to the Lakers, lost to the Magic again. We're struggling a little bit, but they're 30 and 12, and they're sitting very, very pretty. They have one of the deepest rosters in the NBA. They have two of the best players in the NBA. They know how to play with each other. They're a really fun and exciting team. For New Orleans, CJ McCollum got his footing with 38, 4 and 4. But outside of that, Trey Murphy played well, but nobody else really stands out. Najee Marshall, however, did play pretty well, but he didn't shoot very well. But nonetheless, moving on, the New York Knicks picked up a win over the Indiana Pacers, 119 to 113. Julius Randle with a double-double, Jalen Brunson with 34, RJ Barrett with 27, 8 and 4. Just their big three playing really, really well. They were up big in this game, ended up giving up the lead. It got as low as like 2-3 points, and the New York Knicks ended up giving the knockout blow late in that game. When it comes to the Pacers side, Buddy Hield, he had 31. Tyrese Halliburton had 15 and 7. Just what you've seen out of them. Unfortunately, though, they will be without Tyrese Halliburton for a couple weeks. I think he injured his shoulder or something during that game. So they'll have none of him moving forward over the next couple weeks. The Memphis Grizzlies defeated the San Antonio Spurs 135 to 129. Not much defense going on there. Adams with 11, 18 and 5. Jaren Jackson with 21 and 12. John Morant with 38, 5 and 4. That's the Grizzlies. And then they get production from Desmond Bane. Dylan Brooks played bad, but didn't really need him. Tyus Jones played well off the bench. For the Spurs, Trey Jones played pretty well, 22, 6 and 6. Jakob Poeltl, Keldon Johnson played well. But outside of that, not much going on in San Antonio. The Denver Nuggets defeated the Suns 126 to 97. Big dominance there in Denver. Nikola Jokic casually had 21, 18, and 9. I had this game on until I went to bed. Was an easy game to watch. I expected the Nuggets to dominate because, Suns on a back-to-back and they're already limited man. Didn't expect them to play as well as they did against the Warriors, and that was right. The Kings defeat the Houston Rockets 135 to 115. For the Kings, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis continue to do their thing. Sabonis is really the key to this thing, and he's such a good player. He does it all. He can shoot the mid-range effectively. He can rebound. He can score. He can pass. He can literally do everything you need him to do. And Trey Lyles off the bench with 27. Looking ahead to today's action, not a lot on the slate, but nonetheless, we'll dive in. The 76ers host the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I have the 76ers dominating there. Let's see. On the injury report, it looks like the Thunder are going to be pretty well manned. I'm surprised at the spread. That's why I wanted to look. It's a 10-point spread, and that kind of surprises me just a little bit, but I do have the 76ers winning there. The team of the week, the Miami Heat, face off against the Milwaukee Bucks, and I have the Miami Heat winning there. I think the Bucks are going to set a lot of people. I hate picking a team on a back-to-back, so I'm going to stick with my guns there. The Brooklyn Nets, probably the game of the night. The Brooklyn Nets host the Boston Celtics tonight. Can't wait to watch this one. I have the Brooklyn Nets coming out on top. I think Jayson Tatum plays really well, but I don't think it's enough. Even though the KD-less Brooklyn Nets, I think they get the job done here. The Raptors host the Charlotte Hornets in what should be a get-right game for the Toronto Raptors. If they lose this one, they should be sounding the alarms and sending people out left and right. But we'll see. But I do have the Raptors winning there. The Cleveland Cavaliers go on the road to play the Portland Trailblazers. I do have the Cavs going into Portland and picking up a win here. They need one, coming off a couple losses. An emotional loss for Donovan Mitchell. They not coming off a loss. I'm sorry. They beat the Phoenix Suns not back-to-back losses. They beat the Phoenix Suns January 8th, but then they lost that emotional game for Donovan Mitchell the other night against the Utah Jazz. But I do have them getting right here in Portland. And then the nightcap for the night, the Los Angeles Lakers host the Dallas Mavericks. You know me. I'll be keeping a close eye on this one. And I do have the Lakers winning this game. I think it's going to be a good game. I think Thomas Bryant is going to absolutely have his way. I think there's a big Thomas Bryant game. I think they have energy tonight. They need this win. I think they show that. Play with some energy, play with some passion, and they get it done. Thank you guys again so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And peace out.